Another philosophical question from a faculty perspective and from a student perspective. You know, if you have two most important things to say for a student to be vigilant about, and then from a faculty perspective, the advisor and the committee members perspective, what would be this advice from you?
Well, from the student perspective, is one has to learn and work hard. And when I complained when I was a student, you know, that there was so much literature and there's so much to do and so on. I had a advisor, his name is Bill Gottman. Unfortunately, Bill died a few years ago. And he used to tell me two things. One thing is hard work is good for you. And the second thing was it beats working in a coal mine. And I think that academic works is hard work, and hard work is good work, and it certainly beats working in a coal mine. There is no substitute for hard work. There is no substitute for reading over the literature, and sometimes reading it over and over and over again. And sometimes, not sometimes, but quite often attending conferences and seeing what other people are doing and where are they going and what are their thoughts on the same things that you think that you are experts about. So, and the same thing holds for faculty. You know, same thing. You have to keep up. You have to read. You have to be constantly with it in order to present to students what's the newest things and what's the newest trends and what are the possibilities where they should be going. So keeping up and going on with the field, it's holds both for students and for faculty.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And finally, another philosophical question, I would say, how do you see trends for the university and the doctoral education in our field? What do you think is the trend for the future? And if you were a PhD student, what would be your, let me try again. And finally, another philosophical question. How do you see trends for the university and the doctoral education in our field? What do you think is the trend for the future? And if you are a PhD student, what would be, you know, some, I'm sorry, Tefko, I'll have to go again. I'll clap so it shows. And finally, how do you see trends for the university and the doctoral education in our field?
Okay, you're asking two questions, you know, here, or at least I interpret it in two ways. One is universities. The universities in this country, actually the universities in the world, at least the good universities in the world, are at the crossroads. There are several crossroads that they're crossing, and they're having great difficulties. One of them is the financial situation. Higher education has become extremely expensive, and it has become also extremely complicated and demanding, and it has become also a punching bag for a number of special interest groups. And this is true all over the world. This is not only, especially true in the United States. So we have to, as the universities, we have to look to live within the costs and within the financial situations that are getting uh, worse and worse as far as income is concerned, and worse and worse as far as outcome is concerned. We have to get on with new technologies and so on. When I started in the universities, you know, the blackboard and chalk was the only expense that the university had for teachers and teaching. Nowadays, that expense has gone 10,000 times up. So that's one of the aspects. The other aspects that the universities are facing is in doctoral education in this country is that we have less and less people entering the field, which are living in this country and so on. We are now living off mostly students from abroad. The number of PhDs granted in this country to students from abroad is, I don't know how many times higher than the ones offered students that are here, and especially in the fields at science and technology, and including our field. If we didn't have international students in our schools, we wouldn't have a program. And what are we doing to attract students that follow clearly from our undergraduate, graduate, and then doctoral students? We are not doing enough of that. So we have changed, and the field has changed in relation to having less and less students that are coming directly out of the United States educational system, and more students that are coming out of educational systems from other countries. Uh, that is both good and bad. It is good in the sense that we are getting a cultural and educational background that otherwise we would not have gotten, and our students here are really a diversified mixture. But on the other hand, where are the native United States students going with their further education? That has become an issue for a great many fields. Computer science is doing a lot of work to try to attract students, especially minorities and especially women. And I don't think we are doing much, if anything, to do that. So that is both on the university and on the field level, or that is kind of troubling me, and I think it should be troubling the whole field.